Today we're taking a look at and doing a tasting and review of Dos Armadillos Añejo, right here on the Tequila Hombre, coming up next. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Tequila Hombre, where I'm super excited to be taking a look at and doing a tasting and review of Dos Armadillos Añejo. So let's get into where this tequila is made. It is made at NOM 1558. The name of the distillery is Premium de Jalisco. It's located in Mazamitla, Jalisco, which is the southeastern region of Jalisco. If you're wondering where the NOM and the name of the distillery sounds familiar, they also make the brand Pura Vida, and they also were a previous distillery for the brand Chamucos, and were actually thought of as being one of the better quality productions of Chamucos. All right, so now that you know where it's made, let's talk about how this tequila is made. The distillery actually sources their agave from Amatitlan, which is the center, Los Valles area of Jalisco. The agave that they use are 8 years old, which I find when they use a 8-year-old agave, you'll get more of the rich agave flavor from the residual sugars that are left than when they use a younger, less mature agave. So this should be interesting to see if it's reflective in the tequila here when we do the tasting. After the agave are harvested and processed, they are then cooked using a high-pressure autoclave. So it just takes several hours to cook the agave, versus if they use low pressure or no pressure, it could take over a day, or actually sometimes as much as 2 days to cook in the autoclave. After it is done cooking the autoclave, it's shredded, and then they use a roller mill to extract the sugars from the fiber. Then once they extract the sugars, they then distill it 2 times using a stainless steel still. After distillation, it is then put into American white oak barrels and then aged for 18 months before it is then tested and then bottled and sent out for us to consume. So now that we know how this tequila is made, let's dive down and take a look at the bottle and see what the bottle is all about. Diving down, take a look at the bottle. If you notice on the top, it's got a wooden ball as the cap with some twine wrapped around the neck. And as you move down, you notice the bottle has 2 armadillos on it. This bottle was designed by Mexican sculptor Carlos Bustos, who's an artist from San Pedro Tlaquepaque in Jalisco. Now, you're probably wondering, why did they select armadillos for this, or armadillos? The reason being is that the armadillo is a symbol of protection of both history and heritage of Mexican culture and tradition. So legend has it that an armadillo brought a handful of clay on its back to the supreme god Teotl, who used the clay to create and give life to mankind. So this was the inspiration behind using this design for the bottle. It's basically the armadillos are protecting Mexican culture and history by protecting the tequila. Kind of a neat idea, right? And then in the middle we have Dos Armadillos and Tequila Anejo on some stickers, where it kind of looks like a bronzing effect on the sticker. And then a clay medallion in the middle, which is kind of neat. It's a beautiful bottle. I'll make a great piece to put on the shelf when you're done drinking it. Definitely a piece of art. And that's the back of it. It's got the label with the government warnings and information about the distillery and such. It also has this bottle tag on it with some additional information about the tequila, which you can read at your leisure if you decide to purchase it. All right, so there you have it. That's what the bottle looks like. Let's now go back up and see what the tequila inside is all about. And we're back. And let's get into the tasting. So, as usual, I'm using my Jarrito Stazzle nosing glass. I'll pop the top on that. It is an artificial cork, so you don't have to worry about any evaporation or the fill level of your bottles when you buy them. It normally has a good tight fit for there, so I'll fill up my glass. Put the top in, move this over here. So let's take a look at this tequila and see what we're looking at here. All right, looking at it, it does coat the glass nicely, so it should have a nice oily viscosity to it. The look on it is a nice amber color that is pretty clear, no floaties, which is always a good sign. So let's check out the aromas on this. First thing off the bat is you get definitely cooked agave. You get the baking spices. You definitely get caramel from it, which is nice. I love caramel and a nice aged tequila, especially Añejo. Definitely picking up some vanilla on the nose as well. Picking up a little fruitiness in it as well. Almost like a caramelized banana. It actually smells good. I like that. Like bananas Foster or whatever. Cinnamon banana, you know. It smells good. All right, so let's see what the flavors are like here. All right, it does have a nice oily mouthfeel to it. It's got some substance to it. Okay, so it starts out with a little bit of cooked agave. You get that baking spices, followed by some caramel and vanilla from the aging, which is great. And then it kind of transitions. It's kind of weird. It's got medium heat to it. It's not overly hot. It's actually not unpleasant at all as far as the heat goes. But there's kind of a cleansing sensation mid-palate where it turns, you get that, you get the caramel and the vanilla creaminess after the cooked agave. And then there's kind of like a cleansing sensation where things kind of then turn into a fruitiness that's like crisp pear. It's actually really interesting. I don't mind this at all. And on the finish, there's a little sweetness. I'm getting a little honey sweetness on the end. The finish doesn't last as long as I would expect on this. It's a kind of a medium finish at best, with just a hint of sweetness on it. But it is actually, this is actually not a bad sipper. It's not something that would, saturate your palate to the point where you don't want to drink anymore afterwards. This is something you could drink as I don't know if they have such a thing as a session tequila. So you could sip this at night for a while and not have to worry about getting kind of burnt out on the flavor profile of it. It's kind of refreshing on the finish. It's a good añejo. It's different than some of the other ones that I typically prefer, but it's one that I enjoy. So if this sounds like something that you'd be interested in, I recommend picking it up. It definitely would be a nice sipper after dinner. You could actually do it as a afternoon sipper when you get home from work before your meal, because your palate's not overly saturated with all the rich flavors that are found in a lot of other añejos, where you get a ton of the flavor and your mouth kind of gets tired of it. It's a nice añejo tequila. I'd recommend it. It's definitely different. If you like the pear taste and the fruitiness after the caramel vanilla, I definitely recommend picking it up. It's well done. Well, that's all I've got for this. If it sounds like something you like, comment below and let me know. If you've tried Dos Armadillos Añejo before, I'd love to hear your comments. Please comment below as well. Don't forget to click the like button there. Give us a like. Don't forget to subscribe. I've got some more fantastic reviews coming up here and would love to have you check them out. I'm doing them just for you here so you can get some great information about some great tequilas. Thanks again for taking the time to watch the video. I hope this gave you some valuable information. And remember, as always, life is too short to drink bad tequila. Salud.